Hey, what's up my humans? This is Tricia with the Truth and you are the truth. Today I'm talking about old things, old technology. Behind me is an older car. If you can guess what it is, comment below. There's a lot of stuff around here, so I can't quite show you too much of it, but any guess? I'll tell you, it's not a Model T. I'll tell you at the end though. Okay, so mostly today I'm going to be talking about phones. I grew up in the 80s. I was born in the 80s, and so I grew up without cell phones, you know? Oh my god. You know, today everybody obviously uses cell phones, most people. But I started with, you know, a landline phone. And we had phones with the cords attached, and we had like a really long one so I could actually like walk further away from people. So that was like the really nice thing. Otherwise the phone cords were pretty short. So, you know, you'd have to sit right next to the phone. So we even had the really old school one that you rotate. So if you know what that is or seen one, let me know. If I can find any around here, I'll show you guys, but we don't know where they would be at right now. But this was my like first phone where I felt like I was being fancy in my first apartment by myself. It's a cordless phone. Hello, like no cord. You know, I felt so fancy. Oh, of course the cat fell off there. But you know, it was nice. It had a few different functions. Obviously it had a screen. You still got like the answering machine. Y'all remember the answering machines? But yeah, I felt super fancy with this one. So comment below if you guys had a cordless phone and you just felt all the freedom in the world. Maybe I was like going out to my car to grab something and I was still trying to talk to my friends, and it lost connection, so you couldn't go too far. But yeah, so that's that one. So the first cell phone I ever had was a flip phone, and I don't have it anymore. I'm pretty sure I sent it in to be recycled because the door was just like flopping off and the wires were hanging out. So I don't know, I think I sent that one back to be recycled. So anyways, these were my other, I can't remember which one was my first, or it would have been my second one and my third one. But yeah, these were my flip phones, y'all. Let me do it again. Okay. Hey. So anyways, I can't remember. My first one I think was, I can't remember the color, but the case was blue. I had to be different, you know, but yeah, I thought these were super cute. You know, obviously the screens are so tiny. Look at these really tiny screens. And y'all know if you had texting, right, you had to do like 1, 2, 3 to get to like L, for example, you know. I prefer the swiping now on Android, but I still got my little hair tie on there. But yeah, like you had these antennas too. This one didn't have the one that goes up. My old one, my first one did, had like this too to help get a signal. Cause yeah, you know, signals were not the best back then. But you know what I found? Cause you know I like to research and stuff. That US Cellular had the best service. I stayed with them for so long when they were reasonably priced, but then they got like way too expensive. So I jumped on a different company, you know. But like this one says, even the company name, US Cellular. Let's see it. I don't know if it's focusing on y'all on the phone. You know. So yeah, US Cellular. Look at the tiny little white and the guy, y'all. Comment below if you ever had a flip phone. I don't know, they're so special. And then this one says singular, which I don't really remember that. I really don't. Was that like part of a bigger company? I don't remember. But anyways, like they were all Motorola. My first one that I recycled was Motorola too. Anyways, I can't remember the games though, you know, if they were on both of them or my first one or not, but I definitely remember at some point they had the snake game, you know. So comment below if you guys remember, you know, at what year did they start doing that. But I know a lot of my friends had like the Nokia. Am I in focus? There, now I am. I know a lot of my friends had like the Nokia when they first came out, but you know, with technology and like spending money, I'm like the most frugal, and like I usually wait. I don't like to get like the newest thing, especially like I already have something, so like, you know, I'm gonna use what I have as far as now. But yeah, like a lot of people had the Nokias. So I don't have one of those. I never had one of those, but they were like the flat, like not flip phones. My friend had one that I use sometimes. You know, very basic, obviously, just using the buttons. But what was next? Do y'all remember how you know, after, was it, some of them was like after 9 p.m. then it was like free call-in, like free minutes, right? Or sometimes they upped it to like 7 p.m. Ooh, and then weekends, I think. And then, you know, you had to like keep track of your minutes because you only had a certain amount of minutes. And so to have unlimited minutes now and unlimited texting is amazing, because texting was very limited as well. You had to count your text or whatever, like 250 maybe. I'm remembering that. I don't know. All right, so this was my next favorite phone. It was my next one and my favorite, I think, because it was an MP3 player and a phone. Focus on it, there it goes. So again, US Cellular, that was my company, man. But yeah, it's so cute, like just up and down. It was very addictive to just like do that all the time. But yeah, so then like this rotated to like select your music and stuff. It was so dope. I even still have the case. So it's busted though. So busted. You know I like glitter. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, you know you always have to get the cases. Always had to get the cases. And then this one. Well, I don't know where this baby, but I don't know. I just kicked the camera, so I'm back. Okay. I feel like the framing is different. God. Anyways, you know, I like to protect my investments, so even though I had this plastic case on it, I got this one too. It's like magnetic, and you just like slip it in there like so, like that, and the magnet like keep it closed usually. And then you have a little thing you put on your belt or your pants or whatever, your pocket. Sparkles, you know, girl. I'm just so like, if I'm gonna spend that kind of money on something, like I refused that for so long. Like, how can you spend that much money on a phone? But these days I think because it just accesses so many things that I'm more willing to spend my money on it. You know, obviously if it's my camera, if it's GPS, you know, it's all of these things. You know, I'm willing to spend more money on it, and if you can do like a plan or like a, you know, payment plan, so much better. But this was my first LG though. I had tried a different LG and then I took it back at some point along my cell phone journey, but it was lagging. I don't remember if this one was lagging, but comment below if you had that same issue. I definitely preferred the Motorola's because it was just on point, and the LG lagging. All right, what was my next one? All right, well, for so long, I refused to get a smartphone because it just seemed so addictive. Like, I say that now because now you're on it all the time, right? We're all on it all the time. But like, I would see my friends on their smartphones and I'm just like, hello, I'm trying to talk to you, you know? So it's like that transition of being on technology all the time, being on your phone all the time. That's when it started. So I can't remember quite what year this was, but yeah, it was the first Samsung that I ever got and the first smartphone. That clock is loud. How many clocks you got over? Wait, I just noticed. I'll show you guys in a minute. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clocks. Hey. You know, I'm like sensitive to sounds, so it's like. Do y'all hear that? I don't know. So yeah, like having this phone was super special for me, you know, to have an Android where I think I could use GPS on here. I think that was the reason that I got it, because I was thinking about getting what do you call them, the tom-toms, or just any kind of GPS system for your car. And so, you know, I was like, do I really want to spend the money on a GPS and a new phone? So yeah, that was my, you know, rationalization for getting a fancier phone. This is really super fancy for me. And like I said, it's an investment. So I got one of these cases that is like super absorbent of dropping. So it lasted me for, I believe, 3 years. And then I like refused to give up on it and tried calling, was it I was with T-Mobile at that point. I think that's when US Cellular was too expensive for me. But you still got like the cover on there too. So like I said, I treat it as an investment. Like I want things to last for a really long time. I think that's part of the environmental awareness that I have too. Like I don't want to just buy something, throw it, get something new again. Like no, I want it to last forever. It would be the ideal situation. But so yeah, when I called, they took me through like trying to like fix it and like holding down buttons and stuff like that, and it just kept having like that green writing and it just wouldn't work. So it was really nice since I had been a customer for like the 3 years or whatever with this phone. They offered me a free phone, so like I could still pay the same service, but the free phone was this one, another LG. So it was definitely not the best phone, that's why it was free. But it lasted for a while, but you couldn't have too many apps on it. It just didn't last very long. So then I really chose to invest in something. This was like really, really special to me because I wanted to start, you know, having a better camera to vlog and film. So that's what I used for a very long time before I got this camera. So yeah, I'm still using it, but it's so busted and crusted, and yeah, I keep cleaning it with hand sanitizer. But I have this really nice, powerful, strong case on it. It's probably been like 4 years since I've had this. It's the Samsung Galaxy S7. Like, it's amazing that it's still working. I've dropped it downstairs before and plump, 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 and it just bounces and it's totally fine. But it's full, obviously, like of stuff. Like the memory keeps getting full. Like I have to keep deleting stuff and negotiate the apps I have, which I could just like take more off of it and it would probably function a lot better. But it's hard to do that. I don't use like the whole cloud stuff, although I'm starting to. So I'm starting to like transition to that. See, I'm like late on everything. I don't know. I'm just I like to do things, you know, I like to do things the way they are because it's easier. And you never know, like if you start doing something new, you don't know if it's gonna catch on and other people are gonna do it and you'll have to like switch back or something. So anyways, so yeah, I've been very happy with this one. This is my baby. And actually for this one, I think the only reason too that I switched, you know, I did all the research and I got a deal with Sprint. It was the best deal ever. You could, you know, pay off your phone month to month, and then it was a half off plan. Sorry, my dad's replacing my brakes for me. Thank you, Dad. And changing my oil. But can't use the lift right now because it's being occupied and it won't start, so hopefully we can show you guys more stuff around here. And I told my dad, I was like, I want to do some interviews in these old cars with you and talk about different things. I think that would be really nice. So yeah, it was super nice that Sprint offered the half off plan. So it was like I was able to pay like a really decent amount every month that I think I was already paying before with just a plan, you know. So it's like basically to me, I got a new phone, a really fancy phone for free because I was already paying a plan for my previous phone, you know what I mean? Since then, they've changed to T-Mobile now, or they've merged, or T-Mobile bought Sprint or whatever, which I was very surprised because I was with T-Mobile before. So I wanted to show you guys a few other things from my past. So I think this was first, even though I got it like second. And I can't remember if I won it. It's some school thing. Let's see if I can focus on it. It was so fancy because it had like a reverse that you could leave it inside of here and it would actually reverse. Like, that was super fancy. Yeah, it was just so super nice. And I can't remember, well, it has heavy bass and radio, but I can't remember what these numbers did. I don't know, do you guys remember what they did? I don't know, like I said, this was like a super fancy one because I definitely did not have one like this. But anyways, that came later for me. So the first thing that I had was this thing. Do y'all remember this? Do y'all remember the headaches you had with it? And first of all, if you're younger, do you know what this is? Where would you use it? So if you had headphones, obviously you could play your CD, put your headphones in. But man, if you were trying to move it all, meh, would not work. If you were in the car, you could hook this up, right? Because all the cars have the cassette players already. But yeah, oh my goodness. I thought I was so cool with it. But you know, you would set it, even if you just set it nicely and treat it nicely in the car. You go over a bump, nope. So anyways, let me know if you guys had that headache too, right? The struggles we had with technology, right? You know, but you know, we thought we were fancy and we were having fun with it, you know, no matter if it didn't work the best or not, because it was new for us. It was awesome. But this was another thing, the last kind of player that I had for music. It was really, really nice, although it didn't last me very long. I was using it in the car, and like I'm pretty sure I had my headphone or one headphone in, you know, and I had to pay a toll, and I think I threw the coins, still when we threw the coins back then. And like I must have missed, or it didn't say I had enough or whatever. So anyways, I had to step out for a second, and I think I threw it back in. Or if y'all knew the trick back then to just find coins on the ground and throw it. Maybe that's what I did because I didn't have coins. I don't know. Anyways, it's been a long time ago. But I stepped out, and this, I didn't know at the time, but it fell out on the ground. I couldn't find it or whatever. I called the toll plaza and asked them, and they said they had it. So I went to go pick it up, but yeah, busted. And it's still like, it's still just gross right now. But yeah, still like gross and ran over and nope. I remember when I tried to turn it on, I was like, please work. And it was like, the screen was like purple and maybe green or something like that. So anyway, we tried to be fancy, right? So I'm gonna take you guys outside for a second and talk to my dad and see if he can tell me more about phones. I asked him about, you know, if there were any other phones here. He wasn't sure, but he started mentioning something that I hadn't heard of. I heard of the term, but I didn't really know what it meant. So anyways, we're gonna talk about old technology that I'm sure y'all in your 20s don't even know about. Okay. But you were telling me something about the old phones. I know we talked about the crank, seen and heard about those, but then you're talking about party line. I've heard of party line, I think, but can you explain it to us?
Party line was set up so that, especially out in the country, in rural America, they would have like 6 to 12 people on one line. So when you picked up the phone receiver, you might hear someone else talking. They would be using the line. So you'd either have to interrupt them or wait till they got off. You just keep raising the receiver and listening, see if somebody was on the line.
That's so funny. That's so weird. Like I've heard of, you know, the old ones where you just picked up the line. You said there's an operator there, right? I've heard of that.
Right. You turned the crank and that rang the operator, and she's like, number please.
So maybe some households had that, but then maybe to save money, other households had the shared plan, party line.
The party line came later on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what was the benefit of a party line over an individual line?
Because you didn't have to monkey with an operator. Once the line was available, you could make your call.
Oh, that's cool.
You didn't have to talk to anybody.
That's so fascinating. You know, I knew about some of these things, but yeah, that's different.
So then later on, each individual got their own line.
Right.
So as things progressed, it got better.
Cool.
And then
So
it went from the rotary phone to the touch tone, where you push the buttons. You had to dial it.
Right. Oh yeah, the rotary.
Yeah, which most people don't even know what a
I know. Yeah. That's why I want to show you guys some of these, you know, old technologies or interesting items, antiques, you know, to see if you guys know what they are. What kind of phone did you grow up with?
A rotary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your whole childhood?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know what your parents grew up with?
The old crank.
The old crank. Okay.
Well, that's when the cranks were developed, when they were young.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think that they grew up without a phone at the beginning of their childhood?
Oh, sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they didn't even have radios back then.
What? Wait, hold on. Well, I hope that, you know, Dad, you can find some of these cool items in the barn and I can interview you more about them. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
We got a plethora of things.
Indeed. Oh, Lord. Yes. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
So I almost forgot to tell you guys what kind of car it was. So it's a Franklin. Have you guys heard of it? Let me know. Hopefully I can show you more of it later. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us today on this old technology, these old phones. I just love it. I'd love to find more stuff around my place or this barn and talk about old technology. I just love how things change and how we continue to grow as humanity with our knowledge, and hopefully along with our knowledge, so grows our wisdom, you know? So, you know, spiritually. So anyways, I really appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really does help us out. With that being said, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I love you, my humans. Bring people together and keep it truthful. All right, so the first cell phone I ever had. All right. You know, you felt you were so fancy.